We opened a portal through sacred sex, and here's what came through. Pun intended. If you're new here, my name is Jessy.
And my name is V, and we are here to help women heal themselves through the inside out. We use things like breathwork, energy work, and conscious coaching. So if that sounds like a good time to you, hit that subscribe button and stick around for more.
It all started with you.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to just give you like a play-by-play of what happened and what sort of like led up to opening up this portal. And like essentially I channeled extraterrestrials.
Aliens.
Okay?
Cue
It happened.
sci-fi music.
So I know that sounds like really woo-woo, because it is. But also, it's really not, because it was so real. Like, I was so grounded and conscious during it as well. And we're all a channel. Like, I'm not special. I'm actually, like, really new to channeling and all of this. Like, this just sort of came into my world maybe a couple years ago. And I've dabbled. And so, but this is the most unique and, like, first time that it's happened after sex. Not through sex, but, like, after sex. I guess through sex. I don't know.
Yeah. Through, during, after. I feel like it was a whole kind of ceremony, to be honest. I think it was like what happened before,
It was.
during, and after is how the channel opened.
It was. Okay, so let's take you back to before we were intimate. And we're not going to get into like explicit details, so
No.
don't worry.
Not that kind of video.
Or sorry if you're wanting that.
Not sorry.
Not sorry.
Not sorry.
Okay, so before we were intimate, we were like kind of doing our own things. Jess was like on her phone. I was on my phone. So I was randomly on Facebook. I was randomly like, I don't really scroll, but like what popped up was Bashar, you know, the channeler. If you don't know, look him up. He's really amazing, like world famous channeler of an intergalactic traveler, an ET. And all the messages that come through really resonate with me. So I saw him, and I don't even follow him on Facebook, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. It's something about like pet reincarnation, and I love that kind of stuff, because I've had pets that passed on, and I was drawn to it. So it was just like a 1-minute clip, and he talked about how pets typically take less time than humans to reincarnate. And if you want basically the energy of a deceased pet to come back to you, you simply send that animal spirit so much love, and in that you're making a connection to them, and then that will magnetize them back to you. And that was so sweetsies to me. And I have a very dear cat of mine. Her name was Callie, and I have communicated with her before, like after she had died. Like I'd seen visions of her. ETs had brought her to me. Like we had this very like sacred thing that she would do every single night when she was alive. I would get into bed, get all comfy cozy. Voodoo would be like up by my head and my pillow, and she would just be laying on my heart. And she was like a 14-pound cat, so she was pretty heavy, and it was like kind of like a lot. But like that was our routine. Like every night she would lay on my heart. And after she died, it was communicated to me that she would give me codes for my heart and for my healing. And honestly, that's what our animals do for us. They help us transmute things. That's why a lot of times like our animals will unfortunately take on like densities and like toxic traits that like we're in. Like our animals will take that on too, and like sometimes that will develop as illness,
and they reflect things back to you too.
Exactly, they're always communicating in that way. So like really pay attention to that. So that was a really sweet thing. I had a moment where I was sending her so much love, and then whatever, got to like something else. My attention was on something else, and then what happened?
Well, it's all a blur. Somehow, some way, we came together. I was being like playful, but like also a little saucy, and said like, are you ready to have a spiritual experience? And then she was like, yeah, okay. And in that moment, I didn't know that I was actually manifesting something in real time to actually take place. After we completed our intimate moment together,
There's a lot of moments.
there were a lot of moments, but towards the end, you started getting more in touch with your breath, like we've talked about in a different video, which we'll link below, about how you can connect more and be more present during intimacy with your partner through breath work and breathing in unison with your partner. So we started breathing together, things became more intense, and then when we were done being intimate, you totally kind of collapsed and I situated you on the bed and covered you up.
I was so relaxed.
You were like different level relaxed. You were like, I don't think I can open my eyes if I wanted to.
Yeah, I remember like trying to, and I was just in such a state of like, you know, when you're just blissed out, you feel good, you connected with your partner, you connected with yourself, but this was like 10x.
You said in the moment, you were like, I feel like I'm on drugs right now.
Yeah. If you've ever done Molly, you know what I'm talking about. When you're rolling, like I felt like I was rolling. Not as intense, but like a really mild, like really great experience.
Right. And
the
like
chemicals were going off in my brain.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe it's because you had such a big release
100%.
too. And then while you were in this like total, I don't know how to put it, like meditative state, you started voodoo came back out of nowhere. Like I feel like she was either under the bed or out of the room, but she not out of the room, the door was closed.
She's always under
the bed. So she came out of nowhere and was acting very much not like herself. It was not voodoo. If you know voodoo, if you've been around voodoo, she's can be very hyper and in your face and licking you and just all over you.
She can be aggressive.
She can be a little aggro. And she was not. It was really weird. So then I laid beside you and you just started saying things. Like you just started channeling stuff, and I feel like you were communicating with voodoo in that moment.
I very much was. I felt so connected to voodoo and honestly all things at that point. It was really like voodoo had laid across my chest, which she never does, not in the way that she did. She just like she was so relaxed and laid on top of me, very similar to Callie. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was just very much in the moment. And voodoo kind of like scratched Jess.
And she never does that. When she comes and she wants me to like pet her, it's like aggressive. And she just kind of tapped me.
Very gently.
And then simultaneously B is like telling me what voodoo wants me to do.
I said, voodoo wants you to put your hand on my heart.
So I did.
I just knew.
I did. And if you know voodoo, again, she likes to like lick. She's kind of aggressive. So I put my hand over her heart. She licked me one little time. And it was kind of like, I don't know, I felt in that moment that she was just being like, okay, good. You know?
Yeah, she was like, thank you.
And then she laid her head down. And like we said, if you know voodoo, she does not really do this unless we're going to sleep. But like she put her head on my hand and just laid there.
She was so chill.
It was for like a solid 10 minutes that she did not move.
It was so chill.
And she closed her eyes. It was very like, it was just like a very intimate moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, the energy was very serene. It was so peaceful. I just felt so clear. And then I just like got the inspiration to start talking and to start saying things out loud. And it felt very much like the hypnosis sessions that I've done in the past. So I used to work with my friend who would put me under, and we would communicate with our ET family, and they would have messages, and that was like a whole thing, and I was doing that very regularly. So I know what that state feels like, and that's exactly how I felt. But obviously no one had put me under.
Right.
Except for her.
Except for me, and I've never done that before.
This is all to say, like, it's not just about us and our experience and how cool this is. It is, but also, like, whenever I get, like, messages, whenever anyone I feel like gets messages, it's not just for us, it's for the collective. There's someone else that needs to hear it too. Because what we're going through, someone else is going through too. So
what's most personal is most universal, and we learned that from our mentor. So one of the main messages, the first thing that came through when B was channeling was stop being so hard on yourself. Loving yourself is a choice. It's a very simple, easy choice. Catch yourself in the moment. Whenever you're being hard on yourself, whenever you're being hypercritical over something that you've done, a mistake you've made, whatever that illusion is that you feel you're attaching to, like, let it go and love yourself there. Love yourself the most where you feel that you're least accepting. Love yourself there.
Yeah. And actually, I just because I'm also a hypnotist. I do QHHT. If you're not familiar with it, go look up Dolores Cannon. It's really amazing. But I was putting someone under yesterday, and actually that's the message that came through. Like, there were parts of herself that she was casting away, that she was running from, that she was avoiding, and her highest self was like, this is the most important thing. You need to find a way to love those parts. And it just starts by, like, we can do it. We love start loving everything. Even if you don't like them, you don't have to like everything about yourself. I don't like everything about myself, but I am in the process and the practice of loving everything about myself.
Right.
And this message came through really strongly because I had moments earlier that day where I was so much more conscious of, like, I was wanting my body to look a different way. And I was like, oh, my hair is, like, so off, like, my body, like, I just wish I was, like, a couple pounds, like, lighter. Like, you know, when you get into that, like, that is not self-love.
And you start kind of spiraling, and then it's like
spiral.
It's a domino effect. You start picking yourself apart little by little, and then you get to a point where there's nothing left to pick off.
Yeah, and you feel really crappy. Like, think about what that does to your frequency and to your vibration. Like, it really keeps you down. But I was so conscious that I was doing it. And I think I even said in the moment, like, oh, I gotta, like, stop doing that. Like, I don't like that I'm doing that. It's a really simple choice. Stop. If you're doing it, catch yourself in the moment and start loving on yourself. Even if it doesn't feel natural, keep doing it. It will over time. I promise you, this is what I did. And oh my God, I love my body. I accept my body. I love my hair. It's super messy, super frizzy, super messy today. I freaking love my hair.
Right. I think it's all about being like, yeah, there are going to be things that you don't necessarily like about yourself, but it's about being in this constant pursuit of loving yourself.
The other message was, and this is personal to me, but definitely universal to all of us. I think, especially as women, we can push ourselves so much. Like, I have this part, this, like, achiever part that I'm sure that you can relate to, that's like, just keep doing more. Just keep going more. Push yourself a little bit more. Oh, you're going to do that? You should do this. It's better. Oh, you should do that? Okay, no, push yourself. Like, it's just, like, constantly trying to, like, one up and push and stretch. And, like, sometimes that can be really great, but other times that's just, like, messing up our nervous system. So the message was, if you feel like you want to go for whatever this thing is that you want to achieve, but it scares you, but you really, like, inherently, innately, like, in your heart, you want to do it. Like, you are supported. But if you're pushing yourself to do something that's scary, that's stretching you so much, and you don't really want to do it, like, it's just like, I think I maybe have this thought, or that I should, like, these societal things, or my own projections of what I should be doing. Don't do it. Why are you doing something that you don't want to do?
You don't have to do it. You don't. It's a choice. You don't have to do it.
Yeah. And that was huge for me because I was being presented with this opportunity. And typically, I don't know if, like, anyone else feels like this, but whenever I get, like, an opportunity, I feel like I have to, like, take it. Like, it's do or die. Like, oh my God, this is the thing that's, like, gonna lead to all these other things, and, like, I've got to do it. And if I say no, then I'm closing off, like, that's, like, a whole thing that I've got to work on, a story. But there was something in this opportunity that just didn't feel right, and I didn't know why. It just didn't feel good. It was really making me sick, and I was going back and forth back. And then I got this message. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. There's going to be a million other opportunities that are going to feel more aligned and good for you. Even if they're scary, you want to do it, do it. So I said no to this part of the opportunity, and that felt great. And I said yes to the other part that's very scary, but I want to do it. I feel like, okay, yes, this is the good push. So you go for those things. All of the story is like, you get to write the story. You get to write the script. You're the writer, you're the producer, you're the main character, you're the director, you're all of it in your own life. So you get to decide all of it. So that is like super empowering, right?
And you don't need anything, everything, all the answers that you need are already inside of you. You actually don't need anything outside of yourself.
Right. That's a big one, because I kept telling Jess, like, I've never done ayahuasca before, and I had an opportunity to do it, and I freaking canceled. And I'm like, oh, I really want to do it. Like, I feel like I'm ready for it. I want to get this healing. And then a big message that came through was like, I think it was like one of the first things I said.
It was
like,
one of the things that you said.
Yeah, what did I say?
You were just like, you don't have to go seek this out. Like, it's just gonna come to you. The opportunity is gonna come to you.
Yeah,
it's gonna feel aligned. It's gonna feel good. Like, you don't have to stress about this. Like, I know it's been on your mind and you've been talking about it for a while, but like, we don't have to go seek it out. It's gonna come to, the right opportunity is gonna come to us, and we're gonna receive that invitation.
Yeah. And they also were saying yes, and all of that was like, you don't have to go seek this out. We're bringing this frequency to you. And in that moment, I felt like I was getting a deeper plant medicine healing just through the frequency of that. Like, think about it. Like, someone that I really look up to used to talk about this. Like, if you don't have that thing, whatever it is, it could be like lavender essential oil, it could be ayahuasca, it could be, I don't even know what, love. If you don't like have that like tangibly, bring the frequency to you. You don't have to have it like in the physical form. Like, feel the frequencies of whatever that thing is. So I felt like they were doing that, and that was really cool, and a message for all of us. Like, if you're really wanting something, wanting to go do something, experience something, and it feels so far away, remember that, like, you bring it to you. You already have it in here.
You already have it. And in that moment too, you were also saying how the three of us, so me, you, and Voodoo, were actually receiving those codes and that healing in our heart space during that time.
Yeah, it was a major heart upgrade. You know, usually when you do QHHT, you receive divine healings and miraculous healings even, and they always are doing, you know, definitely a physical healing on you. And although I wasn't in a QHHT session, obviously, you know, I had made contact with the beings that I typically communicate in those sessions, and they were giving us all healings. I just felt it. I knew it. I can't even describe like how I know these things. I just know them.
Just know. It's an inner knowing.
It's just an inner know. You just know it. It's inexplainable. And so...
And this is just coming to my mind now, but what's really crazy is the day prior to this happening, we were going through something pretty intense. Like, and I talked about this in another video, but being like, I was super triggered, having really heavy emotions. She was struggling to separate her emotions from mine. And I just kind of find it, you know, it's no coincidence that we got healing in our heart space after the day after all of that happened, and then we worked through it, and then everything was good, and then it was just like, boom.
I didn't even put that together, but holy.
I put it together while you were talking, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah. We were like going through some really deep, heavy stuff, like, and revisiting conversations, and yeah, like, it was a very dense, heavy energy. I feel like that was on both of our hearts, and so it's no coincidence that that was where we were being held the most during that channel.
Absolutely. I feel like for anyone, you know, that's watching, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much, for receiving. And I do feel like, I just feel intuitively like you are getting some form of healing just by watching this and hearing the messages, like from them through me, like it's being transferred to you. So that's really, really beautiful. And it all goes back to like your breath and your presence. So like if you're wanting to cultivate an experience like this, sure, you can do it through intimacy and being really present with your breath and just having that intention. You can also just do it, if you're solo by yourself without any sort of sexual, energy at all. And
Right.
you can like go really deep in a meditation, in an intention.
Well, I think also, this is just coming to me now too. In the beginning, I forgot to say too, which you've never said kind of during or in the beginning, but we kind of paused and you were like, I feel really safe right now.
yeah.
I feel really safe with you. So, also a part of that, if you are with a partner and you're trying to do something like this, it's feeling safe, like having a safe space. You just feel very held, very protected by your partner.
Yeah, that's key. You and your partner have got to feel totally in sync, in tune, consensual, super safe, like super protected, totally honoring and respecting one another. Like that is the way for sure. So if you've had your own ET channeling experience or opening up a portal during sacred sex, we'd love to hear about it in the comments below, or if you want to private message us. We love you. We see you. As always, take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.